Hello, and welcome to this video showing us how developers can extend Sitecore Horizon. Today, Sitecore's Senior Product Manager, Alexey Vaschenko, is going to take us through it.
So extensibility is the core thing of Sitecore these days. So people are doing a lot of different things. They can integrate translation, they can do integration with CRMs, they can integration with CDNs, other stuff, new media library, different services, and it's natural to ask like how you actually can extend with this UI. So before we jump into actually how you can do this, we need to understand a couple of concepts around this idea. So let's take a quick look. This is the layout of the website. I just show it to you. So in fact, when we designed this one, we already have in mind that is building from the blocks. It's not a static page, it's dynamic. So, and actually, in our use guidelines, this looks like this. So it has regions, something that we call regions. So you have left region, let's make it quick. Like we have left region, we have right, center where your page is, and the right region where you have all the information that I showed to you, the publishing, the workflow, all this stuff. So we would like to go with this concept beyond. Like, okay, we have built this with extensions, with this region. So actually how we can enable people to integrate with this one, writing their own things and go into these regions. We came up with the idea of the extension. So what is the extension? Basically, extension is the unit for extending the application that provides UI and the business logic. So it's a contractual extension. It's generic and it's simple. So you don't need to apply different concepts in different places. So you just write down the extension in a certain way and you will be able to directly go into the Horizon UI. So it's not just wording, so I will be showing this on a demo with Visual Studio stuff, so just wait for it. So the next thing, so okay, we have the extensions, we have this region, so how we actually combine those into the one application. This is something that we call the page composer. So the page composer gives each extension the full control over the DOM container in a specific place, and it can be written on any client side or service side, so beloved ASP.NET. So the page composer is responsible for building this layout. And the last thing of this journey is, okay, we have the region, we have an extension. So extension knows where to go for, but we don't want the extension to be just advertising. So we want this extension to interact with different controls. So for this stuff, we have the messaging. So some communication layer that is needed in order to interact with the other parts of the application. So the global messaging mechanism is about the communication. So what API to expose, it's your decision about it's your decide in the extension. You decide what API you consume. It's also sharing the API, so we will be providing the API inside of the Horizon that you can interact with. And inside of your extension, you can also provide your own API, so your extensions can communicate with each other. And of course, those need to be immutable. Because if two extensions fire the same messages in this communication channel, so something can go really wrong. So they all are immutable. So extension can be working individually, independently, but at the same time in the same environment. So at this point, let's jump back to our demo. So on the screen right now, so is it okay? That's perfect. So right now I have designed two extensions for this demo. So the first extension is basically a thing that switched the image and the text inside of the rendering with rendering parameters. This is very simple. So imagine we have a scenario where we are in Dubai, right? And people are used to read from left to right instead of right to left. So we would like to adjust this content immediately without redesigning the whole page. So we have this simple extension. And what it contains of. So the first thing to start from is the extension definition. This is the key. This is the information for the page composer to understand where to go and what to render. So in this part, I have my unique extension name. And I have the region where it should go. So Horizon rendering details, it's like right side, and I will be showing this on the demo. So it's the right side, so you can imagine where it is. And the main thing here, so the name is unique. We provided where in which region it should go. So the next thing is the actual method. So the actual code of the extension. So for this one, I was using the just simple JavaScript, and I have my extension being described. It says what it does, how it all works. I'm defining some radio buttons. So it's a pure UI. So also I have some, since the Horizon technically is based on Sitecore host, the extension is actually a plugin. So in Sitecore host terminology, the extension is a plugin. So that's why it can be client-side, it can be server-side, so you actually can go really wild and kind of design what you actually want. Another thing is that you can use any JavaScript thing what you love. So you want React, fine, we can work with one. If you love Angular, you can go as well. So this one is really simple. The other one is slightly more complicated. So I have a translation extension. So the translation extension, we also start from the definition, and it's pretty much the same, except one more line, because I'm using the Azure translation service. So I have this unique key, which allows me to communicate to the service and provide the text there and get the translated text back, so with the parameters. I also defined some models, how the translation request looks like. So it's basically extension is communicating to not only with the existing DOM page, it also sends the request outside of the Horizon and gets back, and the response is integrated into your page. So after I compiled all of this and just move into my Horizon folder, so what I have here, so I have some extension DLLs, which is basically the Horizon extension is basically a Sitecore host plugin that enables all of this. So I have my DLL for the image with summary, so the switching thing, and I have translation one. So for the client side, I also have pretty much the same. So I have the config file, which describes the region thing that I was already showing. And the client side is basically a code for the main JavaScript file. So I have put it, as usual, into the Sitecore host plugin directory. And I already restarted. As you see, the admin thing, the one that pops up, it's just about it because of the restart. So going back to the page. So what I actually can do right now is I have this rendering. And right now, it shows me my extension. So I actually can flip-flop the text and the image. So yeah, I really want to do this, and it's using the rendering parameters, and it switches back. So the cool part of this is actually it's already inside of the Horizon infrastructure. So autosave, undo, redo, all this stuff works just perfectly. Here you go. So the next cool thing is like, okay, so we have this flip-flop thing. And what we want to do next, we want to translate this main text, let's say, to the French. So right now, for this website, I have set up the language fallback mechanism. So I quickly, this is one of the not released versions, so I don't have actually the language switcher. So we will do a small hack and I will switch it from the URL to French. So language fallback provides me with a field fallback, so I have this text here in English. So right now, I just want to translate it. So let's use our translation extension to get this translated. And I have this one right here. So it's English. I want to translate it to French, since I'm on the French version. And I click Translate. So right now, I'm sending the request to the Azure with the text. It got translated, and I got my French back. So it's already saved. And I also can undo, I don't like it, or redo. Yeah, it's bienvenue. Everything is great. So, to summarize all of it, what will be available now? So with 9.3, we are going to release the Horizon as an opt-in module, easily installed with Sitecore installation framework, Azure or on-prem, simple page editing and scenarios, analytical insights, and preview simulator. What we are working on for the future release is this extensibility story. So opt-in as a module, again, in XP, the extensibility mechanism, so all the API, all the infrastructure, how to interact, all these things, communication, all this will be released in the next version. And of course, the fundamental enhancements for the Horizon. So we always work with our customers. We are looking forward to improve the user experience and get this new editing experience better. So we are looking into adding more features there, and this is basically what is upline for the future release.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow the Learn Sitecore hashtag for future videos.